So let's talk about the number 13. It's just a number, right? Or is it? For centuries, this one number has been a huge source of fear and fascination. So today, we're going to dive into the surprising history and psychology behind one of the world's most stubborn superstitions.
You've definitely seen this. You get in an elevator, you look at the buttons, and it just jumps from 12 straight to 14. Or you get on a plane from certain airlines, and there's no row 13. It's so common we barely even think about it, but it's a huge clue to a deep and really widespread fear.
And yeah, this isn't just some quirky little habit people have. It's a genuine phobia with its own name, and as we're about to see, it has a surprisingly big impact on the real world.
I mean, check out this number, $800 million. That's the estimated economic hit in the US every single time a Friday the 13th rolls around. Why? Because people actually change their plans. They avoid traveling, they put off big deals, all because of a date on the calendar.
This fear even has an official clinical name, Triskaidekaphobia. And look, we're not talking about a handful of people here. Some studies suggest that more than 10% of the US population is affected by this. That's a lot of people.
So the big question is, how did a number get this powerful? Well, to figure that out, we have to go way, way back, deep into our oldest myths, legends, and religious stories.
This fear of 13 is not a new thing. Not at all. Its roots go back thousands of years. You can find its fingerprints all over some of our most ancient texts, from Babylonian law all the way to the Bible and Norse myths.
Okay, so one of the earliest potential hints comes from ancient Babylon. In the famous Code of Hammurabi, one of the first written legal codes ever, the laws just seem to skip number 13. Now, historians today are pretty sure it was just a clerical error made way later, but still, the story stuck and became part of the whole legend.
But here's probably the most famous example, the one we all know, the Last Supper. How many people were at that dinner? 13. And who was that 13th guest? None other than Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed Jesus. That association alone is incredibly powerful.
And you see this exact same theme, the unlucky 13th guest, pop up in other cultures too. In Norse mythology, there's a big banquet for 12 gods. Everything's going great until a 13th guest crashes the party, the trickster god Loki. And what happens next? Total chaos and death. It's a pattern.
So all these ancient stories laid the foundation, but it was a real, brutal, historical event in the Middle Ages that really cemented the number's unlucky reputation for good. Mark this date, Friday, October 13th, 1307. This was the day that the King of France ordered the arrest of hundreds of Knights Templar, this incredibly powerful group. They were tortured and executed. That event basically branded Friday the 13th as a day of betrayal and total doom forever.
You'd think a superstition that old would just fade away, right? Well, not this one. In fact, it just kept finding new and kind of unsettling ways to pop up in the modern world.
I mean, think about it. You've got the folklore about witches gathering in covens of 13. Then you have the Apollo 13 space mission, which launched at 1313 military time and suffered that catastrophic explosion. And then there's this. This is just eerie. The number of infamous serial killers whose names have exactly 13 letters, Charles Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer, Theodore Bundy. It's just creepy. So, okay, our history is absolutely filled with reasons to be afraid of this number. It's totally understandable. But what if there's another side to superstition? What if it's not all about just avoiding bad things? Let me ask you this. Is superstition always about fear? Is it always about bad luck? What if I told you some superstitions are actually about making good things happen? It's really interesting when you break it down. You have fear-based superstitions, like avoiding the number 13. But then you have confidence-based ones. Think about an athlete who has to wear their lucky jersey. They're not doing it to avoid disaster. They're doing it because they believe it helps them win. And this is not just in our heads. There was a fantastic study from the University of Cologne that found that activating these good luck superstitions actually works. People literally performed better on all sorts of tasks, memory, motor skills, even golfing, when they believed they had a lucky ball.
So, how does this work? It's not magic. The lucky charm itself doesn't do anything. What it does is boost your belief in yourself, what psychologists call self-efficacy. That boost in confidence makes you try harder, you persist longer, and because of that, you actually perform better. It's a psychological loop. And this isn't just for games. Even in the incredibly high-stakes world of surgery, doctors talk about having surgical rituals. Little routines they do that have no proven medical benefit. They do them for the confidence they provide. As one surgeon said, it's something they do simply because we're afraid not to.
So it really makes you think, doesn't it? What are your own surgical rituals? Those little, maybe irrational habits you have that give you the confidence to tackle your biggest challenges. Maybe superstition isn't really about avoiding bad luck at all. Maybe it's about manufacturing your own.